guys, and welcome to College Life. My name is Caleb Holmes.
I'm Gabe DeGroot.
I'm Kylie Howard.
And we brought back our favorite college editor, Christian, back to the show.
Hey everyone.
All right, so today I want to talk about something that affects not just students that are attending Redlands Community College, but students all over the United States. Students in colleges and universities alike have been fighting to make our tuition free. But what the government is actually doing is making college tuition go up in some states. Schools like ours are trying to keep tuition the same by cutting expenses such as reduction in force and turning off lights that are not being used by students. But it's getting worse and worse. We here at College Life have tried our very best to get as much information as possible for you, the listeners. We got our information from the Oklahoman, US Today, thenews.org, the HawkeyeOnline.com, cbpp.org, and lastly, Redlands Board of Regents meeting of March 10th, 2016. So we are going to use all of our knowledge to help you for as long as we possibly can. I think we can keep about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. So the plan is each one of us have taken the time and the initiative to research one part of this pretty big topic, and we are going to go down the line and talk about what everyone has come up with. For starters, we're going to talk about Gabe and what he's come up with, and his part was talking about how it affects the students. So Gabe, why don't you just take it away?
All right, well, to fix the budget problem, a lot of colleges have been increasing tuition and increasing it so much that it makes it impossible for college students to pay for it. Over the last 20 years, the price of going to college has increased more than the average income has. And so a way to fix the budget problem, colleges have been increasing tuition to make more money and to not have to cut as much from the school. This can affect students mostly because it makes college less affordable than it already was. Over the last 20 years, the price of going to college has increased more than the average income has. I know that right now, a lot of students are having a hard time paying for college, and so they're just having to drop out altogether.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge problem because, 37% of jobs right now require an associate's or a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And it's predicted by 2020 that 67% of jobs will require that degree. And I'm just kind of like, well, if you can't afford to go to college, how are you going to be able to get that better paying job?
Without an increase in minimum wage, it's going to be a lot more difficult for students and anyone getting out of high school or college to get a decent job that'll let them afford living.
Mm-hmm. It's when I was looking at this information and trying to get all of what I can from all these websites, it's kind of making me sad because it's just a lot of the YouTube videos out there were just explaining these students and how they're like, I have a family, and it's like it's impossible for me to actually pay the tuition now and actually go to class and all this stuff, and it's like, and so they're trying to raise the tuition, and it's hurting families all over the United States.
Yeah.
A lot of students already find college unappealing just because they have to put in work and effort. Well, I mean, this makes it even more unappealing, and it'll lead to more dropouts, and it'll lead to people just saying, oh, I'm not going to go to college at all.
Mm-hmm. I try so hard to stay out of debt, and like I'm very happy right now because I haven't had any financial aid in the past. I'm almost finishing my associates, and I haven't had any financial aid help. I've been paying with cash, and I mean, if the tuition goes up in all these universities, it's gonna be impossible for me to do that. And so,
another big thing that schools are doing over the last few years, many colleges have been removing lots of faculty positions, and they're hoping to do this to reduce the amount of spending. And also by doing this, some courses are no longer available to colleges. I have a lot of friends who have gone to colleges and courses have been cut into that degree that they went to that college for can't be completed because there's not a course available. And to me, that's just like, I mean, it's like just getting screwed. Mm-hmm. You attend that college because they say, oh, we have this degree. Now you're going here and you're not going to be able to complete your degree because they cut a course halfway through your degree. Like, I mean, that's
Kylie, didn't you say that your friend was she was wanting to do volleyball and she actually went to Redlands for volleyball?
Yeah,
and
she
then
came here for volleyball and then they cut volleyball. So, like, right after she got here, they cut volleyball.
That sucks.
Wow.
Do you know if there's if they're doing that in any other states, just cutting, not just cutting anything, but cutting actually like the sports, like volleyball and.
I didn't find anything on it.
No. Okay. Sorry, go on, Gabe.
It's fine. I also found while doing research, a lot of cases, computer labs and other stuff have been shut down to reduce the amount of electricity being used, and also to reduce the amount of money being spent to fix and buy new equipment. In a lot of cases, entire computer labs have been shut down to reduce the amount of electricity, and I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
And they also want to reduce the amount of money they have to spend to fix or buy new equipment. Like me, I use a computer every day. Like, I know this would affect students because they can't do homework and studying. Library services have also been reduced, and students are not able to do the necessary research for a project or exam. Like, to me, that's really frustrating because I don't want to have to go home and use Google the whole time. Like, there's a lot better resources in the library, and also using computers my computer at home is very slow. That's why I like doing most of my work here on campus. And if the computer lab got shut down, I'd be pretty bummed.
Yeah, that would kind of suck.
Definitely. And we have two places, the Fishbowl. What's it called?
The Commons.
Common Center.
It's called the Commons, but we call it the Fishbowl.
I call it the Fishbowl because it's this giant glass that's...
The whole room is surrounded in glass.
We actually joked about. Okay, so this evening, we were studying in the Commons, the Fishbowl, and there was this what's her name?
Maria.
Maria was giving a tour, and she was like running the glass. She was just pointing at the students, and I felt like I'm like an animal in like a zoo, and she was like, and these are the college students. These are the nerds. They like to study here.
Well, or it could be like a fishbowl. You're like the fish in the bowl.
Kind of was like, if you throw pizza at us, we might come out.
Swim towards the glass.
I was like, don't tap at the glass. They don't like it. Sorry, continue.
It's okay. I mean, we have the Commons, which is a big room full of computers, and I mean, when I go in there, I see 2-3 other people in there, and that's just one time period on Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when I went to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I know that they used to be packed. There used to be 10, 15 people in there, The library, there's always at least 2 or 3 people sitting on the computers. Anytime I go in there. I'm never the only one on a computer unless it's like 8 in the morning. So, I mean, having those shut down would be a big problem.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it'd be pretty bad for a lot of people, including the people that actually live on campus. They're going to be kind of screwed a little bit because, I mean, they're going to have to get their own laptop and stuff like that they actually don't need because they don't have a job. So they would, I don't know, a lot of them wouldn't have a job, so they would actually have to get their own laptop.
I actually, back when I was in speech, we had to do a survey, and I asked people like if they had a job in high school or like before they got into college, and there was only like half of the people in my 20 person class who had actually had a job in high school, and only a couple more of them actually got a job once they were in college. So there was still like a quarter of the class that didn't have a job.
I didn't get a job until the spring semester of my senior year.
Well, that's because, I mean, you got a full ride.
Well,
I have to pay.
Really.
I'm working like almost 40 hours a week, and I have full-time college. But that's another story. But yeah. Oh, is that it?
I mean, that's pretty much what I have. I mean,
yeah.
Budget cuts are not only affecting students now, but like I said, they're affecting for the future when they want to get a job. They're not going to be able to get the proper education to get that specific degree. I don't know. I just think it's a serious matter, and I'm glad that it's going to get out there and get addressed because a lot of people are in the dark about it.
Yeah.
And they don't know, and I really feel like the more people that know about it, the better it might get. Who actually knows what's going to happen when people find out about it, but I feel like people knowing about it is better than people not knowing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're a student here, you should know what's actually going on in the campus that you're actually attending.
Yeah.
And the I think that we'll actually get more information for the students if we go on to the next next person, which is Kylie, and she's going to be going over the faculty members and it's faculty and what else? Who else?
Just faculty, faculty and staff.
Staff,
Like the people who work here.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't
so, our college is facing, we're kind of facing the, I don't know how to say it, like the effects of the budget crisis in the state of Oklahoma. And I mean, we're not the only college that's facing this, but I think it's important that we understand what exactly our specific institution is facing. So because of the general revenue failure and the oil gross production revenue shortfall, Redlands is having to cut $99,000 from their budget every month for the next 4 months.
Pretty much what they're saying is
Whoa.
because of your gas prices are so low, it's
Yeah.
actually affecting
Wait,
college
hold on.
students.
What was that number again?
$99,000
Per month?
for the next 4 months.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's like almost
That's
$400,000.
crazy, and it's just for
real-
Redlands, and it's because that actually number is really low compared to the other
Yeah.
universities.
See, I
Like
guess I've
OSU.
been hearing these numbers all wrong because when everyone was talking about it, I thought it was 400,000 from July to June, not from.
No.
No, she was saying because, so like when mid stuff happens, like in the middle of the year, you have to go all the way back to the start of the year, so it starts compounding.
They have
Because the
they have
fiscal
money
year.
for the year, and if something happens in the middle of the year that shortens their budget, they have to make that budget extend, and they've used like, say you have 100% budget and you go through 50% of it for half the year, and you go down to like 30% budget, you have to make that 30% last for the whole 50.
Man,
Yeah.
So
99,000 a month. That is just like
Yeah.
I can't even process what.
and it's even worse for other colleges.
Yeah, that they make a lot more money.
Yeah.
Like I'm just.
And it's because it's going to be some universities like OU and like these big universities, it's not as bad because they don't get a lot of their money from the government.
Yeah.
Am I right? Because they get a lot of their information, or they get a lot of their money from like the alumni and other
and sports. And
Exactly.
Yeah,
things like
and if they
Yeah.
have an issue with their money, they have a big savings account to dip into.
Exactly.
From the alumni that's just sitting there until something happens.
Yeah.
That's how I understand it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I'll go into a couple of those when I talk,
Okay. Good.
because I've got quite a few big things here.
Okay. So we have a list of the people that actually were laid off. What's the right word for that?
Okay, so we're going through RIFs right now. So a RIF is a reduction in force. So just this month, 11 people at Redlands are going to lose their job. So in January, at least 3 jobs were lost. And now we're in March. So this month, 11 people will not have a job here anymore.
President or Vice President Dr. DeLeon, because we can say his name, and he was a big part of this episode or this podcast. He was a big part of this actually school.
I know that in the beginning he was a very big supporter of this podcast, and I'm not saying without him that it wouldn't have gotten started, but I don't know.
It's official that he's actually doesn't work here anymore, and it's actually really that's one that's actually really, really sad that I actually know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bum the mood again. Kylie, continue.
It's okay. You always bump things.
I know.
Okay, so for the summer and fall of 2016, most of the night classes have been cut. So I think the exceptions are some of the science classes that are held at night that have to be held at night, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know that for sure. I just know that most of the night classes have been cut.
Yeah.
And also, unless it's student related, travel is no more. So like professors can't go to professional development courses or whatever outside of Redlands because there's we just can't. We can't do it.
And
with our budget.
last year, Miss Schottenkirk had her whole class go to a play.
Oh, they're not doing that now?
No, we are doing it, but the school is not allowing any of their money to go to the tickets. They're only $5, but
So you had to pay for the tickets?
Yeah.
Because last semester we didn't pay for the tickets.
Yeah, last
They paid
semester
for 'em.
we got our tickets paid for. But I mean,
So-
it's $5 isn't a huge
No,
deal,
it's not.
but
No.
still, like, it's the point
yeah,
of it's a
and
school event.
The
Yeah.
only reason that it's like this is because of the budget cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you still get extra credit if you go?
Yeah, and this year she's not. It's not mandatory for us to go,
I
but
see.
I think everyone except for maybe like 1 or 2 people is going.
Yeah,
still.
who wouldn't? That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I would totally go to a
Well,
play.
what
for
is it
class.
again?
Superman.
Superman and Me.
Me.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, me.
And
It sounds like a song, doesn't it?
I have no idea.
I Got a Friend in Me. That's the only song I could think that is very
Yeah.
close to that.
But I mean, if someone needs it, I was even gonna pay for someone else's ticket because, I mean, why not? It's $5.
Yeah.
It's very generous of you.
Yeah.
Kylie.
No, you're good. So I only have a couple more things. So, purchases, like the Redlands credit cards have been taken again. Or not again, because they weren't taken before. I don't know. They've been taken, so you can't purchase anything without going through the Vice President of Finance. So,
They're just faculty credit cards, though, aren't they?
yeah.
Okay.
So, but like, because purchase orders, y'all know what those are, right?
Yeah.
So, like, a
Well,
professor isn't going to be able to do a purchase like that without going through the Vice President
Well, let's
of
say
Finance
I
first.
don't. What is it for the listeners? What is that?
What is what?
The
A purchase order?
yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's
think-
pretend that none of us knows, so
Yeah.
that way.
Because I know, of course.
I don't know like the exact definition of a purchase order, but I know it's just like when you, like, you're telling them what you need.
It's like making a shopping list
Kind of.
and then going
Ah.
to your mom to have them give you the money to go
To
get
do it, yeah.
Okay.
To be able to
Thanks,
teach,
Christian.
to
That's
be,
great.
to be able
That
to
was-
teach the
Yeah,
class.
that was a great
Yeah.
example. Yeah. Okay.
Last two things. So there's going to be some organizational structure change. I'm not really sure what that entails entirely. And they're reevaluating the programs here.
Wow.
So that's all I've got.
I know that they're trying because they're taking off. They're trying not to do any more night classes, so they're going to do more online classes.
Yeah.
But they said they're not going to try to they're going to try to even it out so there
You
won't be an
can't-
online.
You can't.
campus, so
It's you cannot have a school where the online outweighs the in class unless it's a purely online school.
Yeah.
You can't. You're not allowed to do that. And what were we talking? The equestrian team is that the team? Yeah. Like, I know that a few semesters ago I had a friend that went here, and she's not here anymore. If the equestrian team had gotten cut, she would have been.
Yeah. No,
Pretty
she
big
actually
place.
knew it actually got cut. This isn't recent news. It actually got cut last semester,
Oh.
and she was really really upset about it.
Well, she wasn't here. She left 2
Still, I
semesters
mean,
ago.
she knew people
Oh,
there.
right.
She knew.
Okay, yeah. But as far as we know, that the livestock judging is still a thing, and the
Yeah.
beef team may be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not sure about the beef team. I have information about this.
Which
somewhere.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what the beef team is. I just know that it's called the beef team.
Yeah. I'm in biology, and I have a couple of people who are in different ag groups, and they've been going to shows, and so I'll probably talk to them and see what's going on, if they're getting any kind of cuts or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Ms. Schottenkirk informed us saying that she's actually next semester is going to have actually 40 student per class now instead of actually 20. Is that
25.
25?
All English classes at the school had been trying to keep it 25
Yeah.
max, just so the teacher doesn't get overwhelmed. But because now night classes are going to be gone and some schedules and other faculty
Yeah.
members won't be here, they got to kind of move kids or
Mhm.
students, not kids. We're older.
Kids.
Yeah. And
We're still kids.
so our enrollment has been staying pretty consistent, but the difference is we're getting less full-time students and more concurrent students. And since we're having to cut faculty, we're able to have less classes, which means that we have to put more students in those classes.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just kind of thinking, I remember how, I know at big universities, so you're going to have more than 25 students in a class, but like here, I thought 25 was great.
Yeah.
And there was even a couple times where 25 was too many. Like I felt like whenever we broke up into groups or whatever, people would just, it'd be overwhelming trying to do stuff. I'm just thinking 40 people, that's 15 extra people. That's almost double the class. That's way too many.
Let's remember, we did speak about this in a couple previous episodes about how the students kind of dwindle down to 5.
well, an English class is different though.
That's true.
Because the English class is a core class,
it's more enjoyable.
Yeah, like your guys' geology class. There's other sciences you can take, but you have to take English 1.
Yeah.
Or English 2. So, people are more likely to show up. Do you lose a few? Yes, but you keep the majority of students.
Yeah. So, I know that so are you is that all the information? Okay. So Christian, you spoke about your topic was about
different colleges in different states.
Yes.
So I've got a couple of examples from both Oklahoma and a couple other states. Down in Lawton, Oklahoma, we have Cameron University, and one of their big cuts they've had to get rid of 32 different positions at their college. Yeah.
Wait, how recent is this?
Let me see.
Hold on. Okay.
This is for the 2015-2016 year.
Jeez.
Yeah, so this is very recent.
So imagine 32 teachers that here, just poof, they're gone.
Oh, and for our community college, 11 people got cut. So
yeah,
that's recent.
And that's just for this month, this last couple of months.
Yeah. That's it's 2 full-time and 11 part-time, right? Is that what it was?
Yes.
11
yes.
part-time. Man.
So a total of 13 then.
Jeez.
But I'm pretty sure that for Cameron, the 32 is over the whole year, ever since they had the cut. They had to start making cuts. And then in Seminole, they've had to start eliminating scholarships. They've had to stop giving money to the students to allow them to go to school.
Wait, that doesn't sound right, because isn't scholarships paid for other people giving money?
Some.
No,
sometimes this, Redlands, there's a scholarship here at Redlands that does $500.
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
almost
that's
any student
that's just a tuition waiver.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So they're
not stealing money from other people.
No. They're just having to stop giving money to the students.
So, a big factor to get students to go to college is, we have scholarships that will pay for your entire school. Well, when you take away those scholarships, it becomes less appealing.
Yeah.
It makes you not want to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
Kylie, if you didn't have a scholarship to SWASU, would you still be going to SWASU?
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
But-
come
Okay,
on.
if
You're
you
a
did-
bad example.
Okay, if you hadn't have gotten a full
Work with
ride
me here.
here, would you have stayed here?
Probably.
Oh,
But I'm
Wait,
different because
okay, so why?
my parents and my grandparents are more than willing to help me go through school. So I don't have, I have financial issues because obviously they can't do it all.
Yeah.
But I work here too. So, really, I don't have as many financial problems as
Right.
someone
Okay.
whose parents aren't willing to help.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fair.
So I'm like a really bad example.
Okay.
Not
Well,
a good
but-
example to use.
But for most people, it's like, oh hey, we'll give you full ride scholarship. Okay, well we would like to give you full ride scholarship, but we can't because we don't have any money left. Okay, you're not gonna go here. That's cool. Just go.
I love how you're just looking at another. You're just looking at the wall, pretending it's a person.
I'm
Sorry.
having a pretend
Okay.
conversation.
Pretend
So
conversation.
for you guys, you live in Piedmont.
Mhm.
If you had gotten some kind of scholarship to OCCC, which is Oklahoma City Community College, would you have gone there rather than coming here?
If I got a full ride to OCC,
Yeah, I would get if I got a full ride anywhere, I would just. There would be no
even if
second
you
guessing.
didn't get a full ride, even if you got just like $1,000 a year.
Well,
off.
that's not because that's
It's
what I
not a
got.
full ride.
$1,000 a year, still yes.
Because that's $500 a semester.
That's what I got here though.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
So
no.
yeah, that's what you got here too.
Yeah, I was thinking.
If
for some reason,
if it was like
$1,000
$1,000 a semester,
Yeah,
heck yeah, I'd do it because it's
I would think
$500
twice
more,
on that.
and I only have to drive maybe 15 more minutes, 15, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
give or take.
Well, I mean, you have to think about gas too. I mean, there's a lot of things. I wouldn't say an absolute yes, but there are. I would definitely.
For the most part.
Yeah, I would definitely take that in consideration.
Yeah. But I mean that's just what some colleges have had to do to get off.
Well, so isn't Gabe? You were discussing something about Illinois or Louisiana? Was it Louisiana that?
yeah,
was Christian, that was
he,
talking about Louisiana.
he gave me
Okay.
some information to look at.
Because Ms. Schadenkirk told us that Louisiana is a state that's going through pretty much the exact same thing that Oklahoma's going through.
Were you about to discuss that, Christian?
Yeah.
And
I'll get
so
onto it.
because Christian is doing a topic over other states and other schools, I just texted him and told him that this would be a perfect opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what I was able to find was this kind of all started back in 2008 when Louisiana got a new governor, Bobby Jindal. When he got into office, he was starting to make state budget cuts for education or for higher education because he said that he was not going to raise taxes. But we started to go into a recession, and it was either raising taxes or cutting budgets. From 2008 to 2015, the higher education funding has been cut by about 55%, and that's a major thing. In 2014, Louisiana was the 48th in educational attainment.
Really?
Yeah,
out of 50. So, yeah.
Jeez.
And
What's even sad, there's two lower.
yeah.
And Louisiana was having a rough time. So there's two lower than that. That's
Well, and the others might have been having a rough time too.
yeah, I know. It's probably like a really up north state, like maybe Alaska, somewhere in there.
No, Alaska schools are actually pretty good. I lived in
Yeah.
Alaska for 12 years.
Alaska
I
pays
know.
their teachers.
I really just wanted to poke at Caleb
No,
about
they're
Alaska.
actually there's some pretty good schools in
Alaska pays their teachers one of the highest wages in the country.
Oh, what? Because it's cold. No one wants to live there.
Whatever.
Not the whole state
there,
is
there was a teacher that moved from Piedmont High School. Her husband got a job in Alaska,
Mhm.
and she got hired 3 days after he got his job. She called in the first place. She got hired, and she was like, "Yeah, it's a lot better than Oklahoma."
Yeah,
All
I
right.
bet. But overall, the state has had to cut 13% of higher education funding for a total of $40 million over 14 universities. Yeah.
Doesn't it, while we're getting all this information, doesn't it feel like the states are just robbing us, robbing the colleges?
Well,
You guys can get more tuition. We'll just take your money.
I mean, it could sound like that, but at the same time, I mean, what can they really do?
Well, in this
I don't know, not
this
doing
higher
it.
tuition thing, it's like I was talking about you. You raise the tuition in hopes to make more money,
Yeah.
but then people that can't afford it, they don't go to school there, so you're not making any more money because your enrollment goes down.
Well,
So it's
Yeah, I can see why that would it would help the colleges by adding more and more, making the tuition higher.
The reason they're having to raise their tuition is because of the cuts. If they didn't have these cuts going on, most schools don't just raise tuition because they can.
Well, right. I mean, because you kind of, I understand what you're coming from.
Yeah. So I just think it sucks for both the schools and for us.
Right.
Because it's hurting everyone. It's stopping students from going to school, but it's also stopping schools from pulling in more students. So back in February in Illinois, there were 4 universities that kind of like all their students and faculty kind of congregated around the Capitol because because of the budget cuts that were going on, and they have a monetary award program grant that enables students to attend. I'm from what I could see, it's kind of like scholarships, but I think it was like a grant that's given to the schools to give scholarships to their students. But Eastern Illinois University had to lay off 198 staff members 2 weeks ago.
Not the eastern part of the state, like
No.
Eastern Illinois University.
Eastern Illinois University had to lay off 198 staff members.
Jeez.
And yeah,
Is there even 198 staff members here at Redlands?
I'm sure there is.
Probably.
Well, I mean, that was a
but
joke,
we
talk about Kylie over here
have
too.
like 20 left. That'd be it. Probably.
yeah, we'd have like
We would be almost.
we
out
would
of
have
people
like
to work.
Miss Schadenkirk and Tabor left.
Yeah,
History and English, guys, let's do it.
yeah. But and the I got from the Chicago Tribune that Chicago State University is
It
going to
exists.
run out of money by March 1st, which has already passed, and I haven't been able to find anything about it. So I think they were able to cut enough, but they might have to close down at least for the rest of this year.
Wow.
On Tuesday, I don't know if you remember this, but Caleb and I were talking to Miss Schadenkirk about all this stuff, and she was saying that some schools are closing mid-semester
Yep.
Yeah,
and just giving the students the credits
yeah.
that they've already paid for. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
you couldn't now mid-semester, like, what about those people that only paid half their bill? They get full credit? I was like, that's not fair. But I mean, at the same time, that's still...
Well, I'm sure they still have that
Yeah.
bill on their
Yeah.
record,
It's
but
just, I'm just sitting here like, yeah, great. The kids didn't have to work to get there. They only worked half the semester. But
Yeah,
still, that's students not being able to attend there anymore.
Yep.
However many that is. Do you remember what school it was?
I do not.
She was saying.
I
there was one
remember the
school-
conversation, but I don't
Yeah,
remember
it was school faculty. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people losing their job, and that's a lot of people not being able to get an education. I'm just like, are you serious?
They were going to have to start over because I don't think that they could actually. I mean, could you be able to transfer your college?
She said that no, you can transfer what you have. It's
That's
just
true.
you wouldn't be able to, like, your school's now closed. They're not going to be able to send it out. You're
That's
not going to be like, I went to school there. Can you somehow find it? You
Yeah.
know, it's
yeah,
the biggest problem about that is, like, they're not going to be able to start because the new
fiscal
Fiscal
year
year
starts in July. So maybe, hopefully, they'll be able to get
Hopefully,
stuff together by July 1st. But
Hopefully.
I mean, if they don't, then that means they're gonna have to go a whole nother year, because they can't start in like January. That's halfway through the. I mean, that's insane to me. I just can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, and on one side, like the students are getting credit even though they haven't completed the course, but at the same time, they can't complete the course because
Right.
the school isn't gonna
Right.
hold the class.
And
anymore.
hopefully it's not like stuff for their degrees, because they're gonna go in there like, oh, don't you remember from this class? No, I didn't get to finish the class. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's that, and that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is the fact that they're not gonna be able to continue going to school there.
Yeah.
Like, that just
Well, I mean, it is. They're not able to learn
yeah.
the things that they need from those courses. Like, I would have gone and enrolled in all of the most difficult classes there just so I could get credit
Just
and be
could
like,
have-
Well, I'm
I
pretty
took
sure-
these. I did.
I'm pretty sure it was just something that, like, was unexpected and they didn't know
Yeah.
about. Like, they wouldn't have just been like, yeah, we'll let you enroll, and halfway through the semester we're just gonna shut down. No,
I don't even think if you went if you went to school halfway through a semester, I don't think that you could transfer to another school in the middle of a semester.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think
No,
so.
Because their classes would already be full and everything. Like, there's
Well,
no way.
Well, how you could play it out? You could just play it out like, oh, I'm still in class, air quotes, still going to school until this date.
Yeah.
So all they gotta do is make sure that their bill's paid off and apply to go to that next school.
and
yeah.
technically, like, if you could find another school that was having those classes, you could probably go talk to the teacher and sit in on those classes and take the tests. But you technically wouldn't receive the credit from that school.
You wouldn't have a grade, but you could at least...
Yeah.
There's I guarantee you there's some system that they worked out, like, oh, we're taking transfers from this school halfway through the semester for this. Like, if the class matches up, yes, we'll let you join. Or, I don't know, there's just got to be some way that those students can get worked in, because that's, I mean...
Yeah, going half a semester, like, learning half of your
half of what
material,
you need to know.
And then just being like, okay, you get the credit.
I mean...
Would suck. In Kentucky, the Arthur J. Borenfiend College of Business.
What?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Let me read that. Arthur J. Borenfiend. Oh, College of Business. He wasn't kidding. Dang.
Yeah. Their dean of the College of Business said that they are going to have a budget cut that will result in a hiring freeze, which just means that they're not going to be able to hire anyone else. With the cuts in the state jobs in Kentucky, they could be dismissed altogether for the sake of money. So he said that they could fire people.
But they just can't hire them.
Right there.
Yeah.
They will not eliminate a position that is currently filled.
Yeah. So they could
they
could save money by firing people, but they're doing what they can by just
that's terrible.
not
why are you
hiring
laughing?
anyone else.
That's horrible.
It's one of those awkward laughs that you do whenever you're
It's-
like,
it- when-
I
when you're
killed
on-
my dog.
It's like one of those uncomfortable laughs. You don't know. You like feel so bad. You're like,
That I don't know whether I'm supposed to like cry or laugh.
oh,
I don't know what
like,
to do.
like when a really depressing person tells like a really bad joke and you laugh just to like, like, please don't hurt me. Yeah.
But he said this is also alarming because we have loans that they have to pay back, and we all want jobs when we get out. So they were able to, at the college, they were able to not have to fire anyone, but they can't hire anyone else, and they've also got loans. The college has loans.
Wow. That sounds like pretty close to bankruptcy, doesn't it?
Well, it's a college of business.
Oh, there you go.
You're not very good at it. No offense to Arthur J. Burnfiend, but dang. Literally, Burnfiend. Bauernfeind. I don't...
last name.
Bauernfeind.
Like the Groot is any better.
Huh?
It's not like the Groot is any better.
Groot?
The Groot.
The Groot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's two syllables,
And it's
very
pronounceable.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
has, 3 vowels back to back. A-U-E. A-U-E. What does that sound even make?
Oh, good.
I know E-A-U, but not A-U-E. What is it? Owie? Owie.
Stop making this guy's name.
Owie!
Bauernfeind.
All right, we're done with that,
So mean.
and that's all I've got.
I'm sorry, Arthur J.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Okay, so in closing, I want to let the listeners know that President Bryant, he's going to speak to the Board of Regents today. And this information that we've given you about Redlands is actually about to be announced today. So you're actually getting an exclusive in a way.
Sort of, but by the time this episode's
by the time
posted...
but we're recording it, so that makes it exclusive. Right?
Whoa!
Yeah.
I had one more thing from
okay.
the internet that I didn't talk about. Yeah, the one other thing that I was going to say is OU, their president, David Boren, announced that he's going to recommend to their Board of Regents that he and other OU administrators take a 3% budget cut, or a 3% pay cut for the next year.
Which
That's
might
noble.
not sound like a lot, but I'm pretty
the
sure...
guy's getting paid like millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he makes he's well off
Yeah.
by a lot.
So starting July 1st through at least the next year, if not longer, him and all of the other administrators are most likely going to be taking a 3% pay cut.
You know that I'm gonna feel really bad saying this, but who's the coach for basketball and the football team at OU?
I have no idea.
Mike Gundy.
Mike Gundy.
No, that's OSU.
Get out.
I'm an OU fan. I just said Mike. Bob Stoops.
Bob Stoops.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Did you just say Mike Gundy? Apologize to the Sooners right
I'm
now.
so sorry. I'm a big OU fan, and I don't. That was the first football head coach name popped in my head. I'm always an OU fan. Please don't scold me.
Gabe, it's okay. I'm going to delete it.
I'll make it.
No,
Blues.
that's
Yeah.
it. We're
We'll
using
make it
that.
Blues.
It's too funny.
Bob
So-
Stoops is the football coach for the University of Oklahoma.
Who's the basketball coach?
I don't
That
like
one
basketball,
guy
so I don't know.
with the face.
Anyways, the basketball coach makes more than the president of the school. Did you know that?
Bob Stoops makes a good amount too.
Well, I mean, he does, but
Okay, anyway,
I'm not surprised though.
To put his pay cut in reasonable terms, let's just say that he makes $100,000. I know he makes more than $100,000, but now he's only gonna make $97,000. That's $3,000 just from him. Like $3,000, it might not seem like a lot, but you can do something with it. And
I mean, when we're having to cut $90,000 a month here,
and also he makes more money than that, and there's also his administrators that are.
Yeah.
So like that, I mean, who knows? That could make up for the money.
Yeah.
We just stopped laughing.
No,
I
I
didn't.
was about to sneeze.
I didn't mean to say
So
Gundy.
yeah, so they could be saving like $30,000. Just off him. Probably.
Yeah. 30,000. No. If he makes,
If he makes $1 million.
I don't know if he makes that much, but
Yeah.
that wouldn't sound like a terrible number.
Or, no, if you only made a $100,000.
If he made 100,000, it'd be 3,000. So if he made
Yeah.
$1 million, it'd be 30.
Yeah.
You guys like math?
Nerds.
You nerds.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you want to start talking about your
No,
math
don't.
skills?
All right.
The only class I need is college algebra.
And life science. Which, why did I wait? Why did I wait till the very last? For me to graduate my associates, I have to have life science and college algebra, and it's, oh my god, I'm so upset because I don't want to take it.
You just take biology.
I'm telling you.
Take biology?
I would take biology.
With
It
lab?
is
Try to get
What's the
without
difference
lab.
between lab and...
Okay, here's
Lab
with
is
lab,
where you take a lab.
No, I
Without
understand, but what's
lab
the
is
difference?
where you don't
Like,
take
is
a
it
lab.
harder to take it?
No, here's the thing. All it does is the lab
Gives you another hour.
Your grade that you get, in lab, it's like what 30% of your overall grade,
30% of your
and
overall
and
grade.
and your in class stuff 70%. So if you did it without lab, you would only be graded on the stuff in class.
Which
Which
means
is
you
like
could only
tests.
get a 70. I'm kidding. But yeah, so you'd be taking out any bad stuff you did on labs.
Okay.
Which
And-
for
Well, actually,
which
with
for
my
most biology classes here.
With my geology, I actually did a lot better in lab than I did in
Yeah.
everything. So.
But like with
So you
with
were
a lot of
colorblind.
biology classes here.
And I was colorblind, and I couldn't see the rocks. It was funny because like the minerals we had, like with how the professor set it up, there was 3 minerals on each table, and we had to fill in the blank on which one they was. And I told the professor, like, I'm colorblind. And he's like, so am I. And I said, okay, that doesn't help me any. I don't know what to do. It was, and
It's
also,
like, pick the red one. Which one's red?
so this one, no.
On our final,
That's brown.
didn't you ask me that? Like, we walked past each other, and he's like, which one of these is blue?
Yes, because there were 2 right next to each other, and it's like purple and like a light brown. I'm like,
He's like, these are the same rock. I don't know what this is.
The big yellow one is the sun.
He's
Suppressive
trying to
Ryan
confuse me by giving me the same rock.
yeah. It's the same one. Oh, that would be so bad. That would be an evil, evil professor.
It would be.
Okay, so for the listeners, we thought this would be a very helpful episode for you guys because you guys have, I hope, what?
Nothing.
What?
I'm just looking at Gabe, and then he made a weird face at me.
I don't know if it'd be helpful.
Well,
Yeah.
because
Informative.
It's informative.
That's
because
better.
I think the students, like I said in the beginning, the students need to know what's happening in their community, their community college, and their universities, and it's getting worse and worse. And so, if this should change your perspective on college, like it did with us. So, does anyone else have anything to say about it? All right. Well, fellow podcast listeners, if there are any comments or questions that you would like to ask any of us, or if you would like to leave a comment about the show, please feel free to do that on Facebook or Twitter. And if you're interested on Redlands Community College, please go to redlandscc.edu. And as always, dream big, students.
Tootsie Rolls? The little tiny ones?
I hate Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, God, I went to town on those things. I was just like,
I
these
hate
candy.
I hate how much trash you have at the end of it, though.
I know, it's like, God!
So nothing
That'll be our
good.
bloopers.
Nothing good. Yeah,
Tootsie Rolls.
that's all I was saying about
Reese's.
bloopers.
And she won't even know. No, we'd have to tell her. if
No,
were
we
gonna-
can't have to. Yeah.
Now this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, 'cause we need a little controversy, 'cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, 'cause we need a little controversy, 'cause it feels so empty without me.